Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to thank Andy and John for the honor of appointing me as honorary co-chairman, and I wondered why. I guess it perhaps is what in the corporate world is called corporate knowledge. Other people, as charitably, would say, oh, you're a period piece, which I gladly accept. And what I mean by that is my first experience with St. Thomas's Church was in 1940. That's 1940, when at the age of 5, my beloved maternal grandmother brought me to a service at God's church. And she told me to sit down and be very quiet and not say anything, but to stand up when she did and enjoy the singing. Well, I did. But you know, a very curious thing happened to me. I was only 5 years old. I didn't. I was unsophisticated. I was 5 years old. And I had a feeling that among all those people and within that space, there was a spirit of comfort and joy and something that I lacked the vocabulary to express. But I think it's the same thing that you all feel when you're in God's church. It is your spiritual home. In 1742, a number of people who lived locally, farmers, whatnot, asked the General Assembly of Maryland if they would grant a charter for the building of St. Thomas's Church in Garrison, Maryland. I am old enough to remember when this is called Garrison and not Owings Mills, which is true, it is Garrison. And, and a small group of people who were dedicated and generous, I don't know how they did it, but they got together the resources and built a church. And they built it so that they could come and worship. They built it so that in the future, people would be able to come and worship at St. Thomas's Church. And it could become their spiritual home as well. And this they did. And thousands of them. And they built this beautiful church to which additions were made, which frankly did make it a bit more beautiful externally than the original church. But they did it not only for themselves and a place to worship the Lord, but they built it for the future, for the thousands of communicants who would come in the future. And there's a word for that, and I won't mention it. You know what it is. And now it is our turn, our opportunity to continue to make this church available to those who will come after us. So we have an opportunity, but I would say, we have a moral obligation as well to carry on what these people have given us so that those who follow us will be able to come here. And I had a lot of other things to say, but I think I've pretty well said it all. And I'm reminded of a statement that the late Woodrow Wilson, who I did not know, but could have. I mean, he died, he was a young man, as you know, and while he was president, he died during his term, and it was said that his wife really was effectively the president of the United States during his illness. In any event, Woodrow Wilson was the son of a Presbyterian minister who was the minister was very influential in the Presbyterian Church in the South. They lived in Stanton, Virginia. And Woodrow Wilson was profoundly influenced by his father's exhortation toward service, toward education, to caring for the needy. So he selected a small college in central New Jersey, which was commissioned in 1746, just 4 years after St. Thomas's Church had been commissioned. And he was an undergraduate of that church, of that college, which became a university. And it had a profound effect on him. The values, the Presbyterian values, although there was no connection between the college and the Presbyterian church. There is a seminary in this town, a Presbyterian seminary, but it has no connection to the university. But he graduated. He obtained a PhD from Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, and he was invited back to the university where he became a president. Thereafter became governor of New Jersey, and then president of the United States of America. And he wrote this wonderful comment about how he loved and had great affection and the profound lessons that he learned on the subject of service to others during his 4 years when he was an undergraduate. And I will close by trying to paraphrase the eloquent words what he used. My words certainly don't equal the eloquence, but instead of a university, I will talk about St. Thomas's Church. And the paraphrase goes like this. We are but communicants in a church of many years, but while it exists, it will remain young when we are old. But while we live, its life is in us. Thank you.